The message came like a blade, precise and cruel. You're not invited to my sister's wedding. The family doesn't want you there. 12 words. Sharp enough to sever 10 years of devotion. I laughed, but not the kind of laughter born of humor. No, this was the laughter that erupts from sorrow so deep, it splits you open. It echoed through a house long emptied of warmth, a hollow place where my loyalty once lived. My reply was brief. A bitter smile tugged at my lips. So you chose status over loyalty. Got it. Then in silence I dismantled everything. The vineyard deposit gone. The high-end photographer, cancelled, no explanation. The custom wine barrels, each one etched with our family crest, refunded. The luxury SUVs they were so proud of, vanished from the schedule. I had quietly arranged it all. I had paid for it all. I had made their grand vision possible without ever asking for credit. Being invisible teaches you how to move strings while no one notices your fingers. I wasn't born into money. I was born into scarcity, into silence, into the relentless duty of giving what I never had. My parents were more myth than presence, ghosts drifting through a life that demanded more than they could give. So I became my own maker. Through grit and discipline I built. Not loud, not flashy, but essential. I became the one people turned to when things had to work. When dreams needed funding, when fires needed quiet extinguishing. That's when I met her. Back when my edges were still soft, and belief in love still held shape. I gave without hesitation. I listened to her sister's endless worries. I managed her father's shady finances in silence. I invested in their futures like they were my own. And they saw through me. Not into me. Through me like mist on a glass window. I accepted every slight. Every mumbled thanks. Every moment I sat at the edge of the table instead of at its center. I told myself love was endurance, not reward. They were counting on that. It started subtly, an email forwarded by mistake. A family group chat I was never meant to see. Slowly, the wedding plans took form, and I began to understand the role I'd unknowingly accepted. The invisible financier, the errand boy with a black card. Her sister once laughed, wine drunk. Imagine him thinking he's one of us. She didn't know I heard her. But I did. I heard everything. I watched silently. Not confrontational, just aware. When people assume you'll never fight back, they get careless with their cruelty. They mistake quiet for weakness. They forget that shadows listen. And sometimes quiet isn't surrender. It's strategy. Over the course of weeks, I became a ghost with purpose. I tipped off the venue. An anonymous email detailing the groom's financial misdeeds. The deposit was frozen for reputational reasons. I forwarded proof to the photographer from a dummy account. They backed out, citing contractual concerns. The SUVs? One quiet word to an insurance contact, and suddenly nothing passed risk checks. I watched their group chats crumble from a clone phone they didn't know I had access to. Her father's investments, fragile, poorly shielded, were redirected into frozen accounts. Not criminal, just paralyzing. My name wasn't on the invitation, but it was on every bill they forgot they couldn't afford without me. Strange how people only notice the foundation when the building starts to fall apart. She asked to meet. Neutral ground, a riverside cafe. Soft jazz, expensive cutlery. She wore guilt like perfume, subtle, expensive, heavy. I didn't mean for it to go this far, she said. I stirred my coffee calm. It always goes this far, I replied. People just assume we won't be the ones to burn down the house we built. Her lip trembled. You humiliated me. I leaned in, voice low. You erased me. The silence between us stretched, dense and final. Then I slid a USB across the table. Every payment I made, I said. Every secret I kept. Every NDA, every wire, every favor I called in for your father. Her face drained of color. What are you doing? I'm not leaking it, I said simply. I just want you to understand that I could. She stared down, ashamed or terrified. Either worked. I stood, buttoned my coat. You built your palace on my spine. I just stopped carrying it. I didn't go to the wedding. Word is, it was held in a cheap hotel lobby after the venue pulled out. No orchestra, no SUVs. Photos snapped on phones. Her sister cried, not out of joy. Her father called me once. I let it ring. This was never about revenge. I never wanted to ruin them. I wanted something simpler. something they never gave: respect. And when you realize respect is unreachable, you don't chase it anymore. You choose peace, not silence. Peace. Now I build again, but this time for myself. A new firm, my name carved into the front glass. A circle of trust so tight, it's a single point. Sometimes, when the world is quiet, I think about the man I used to be, the boy who thought loyalty could fix everything. I rest a hand on his shoulder and whisper, "We're not him anymore." When people ask me why I seem so steady now, so sure, I just smile and say, I learned to walk away from places I was never really seen.